I hear you say. Yes, within. You heard that correctly. See, when Lynn arrived at the zoo and desperately wanted to leave, she thought being the worst version of herself would get her sent straight home on the first plane to China. But in her bid to prove herself the baddest of pandas, she'd accidentally become one of the most beloved animals in the zoo. Because of her, the animals now roamed free and, instead, the visitors huddled in enclosures.
And the winner of the Fling a Mouldy Banana the Furthest contest is...
The baboon started. Lynn clutched Foo's paw. She squeezed her eyes shut. Please let it be us! Please let it be us! She thought hard to herself.
The tigers and the penguins!
The baboon yelled to a roar of cheers from the tigers. Lynn felt like a giant panda cake that had been crushed and stamped on by a giant stomper crusher. She opened her eyes and spotted Foo, who was smiling at the tigers and cheering them on their win. And that crushing feeling soon melted away.
The tigers and the penguins have won a pile of hazelnut mousse from the Zoo Cafe,
the baboon finished. Lynn crumpled up her nose. She didn't want hazelnut mousse anyway. Why would anyone want hazelnut mousse when there was chocolate mousse? By the looks on the tigers' faces, they didn't want the prize either. Who wants hazelnut mousse? Foo said, disgusted. Exactly, Lynn said, glad to have lost the competition and glad to have someone who understood exactly how she felt. I need to release some panda cake, Foo mouthed to Lynn. It was his way of saying he needed a poo without saying he needed a poo, even though everyone knew he was going for a poo. Lynn watched her friend plod away, and then went to join the lions as they tried to clear bananas out of their water guns. Ah, Lynn, Liony McLionface said, seeing his favourite panda. I've been meaning to catch up with you. I have something important to discuss. He pulled her aside as the festivities of the tiger-penguin win continued, and they crawled in comfortable silence towards an abandoned ice cream van where they sat in the long grass of an unmowed lawn, before Liony continued. We have a situation, the lion said. He huddled in close to Lynn, careful to make sure none of the other animals could hear them. You did such a good job getting us out of our cages. I thought you would be just the panda to deal with this. What situation? Lynn asked. Liony frowned, and his furry brow furrowed deep. I have news from the bird crew at the front gate, he announced. The rich man who lives in the ginormous brick nest across the road is visiting with his 8-year-old son. So? The son is... The lion stopped, searching for the right words. He gulped hard. A bit of a tricky customer. A tricky customer, Lynn replied, confused. But children are harmless. Not this child, Liony said. He got up and paced through the grass. The McDingle Waddlingtons are the curious sort of humans. The child has a reputation for being quite obsessed with us animals. Lynn found her mind wandering as the old lion droned on. Liony had the sort of melodious voice that could cause a panda to drift off. She thought about what she and Foo would get up to for the rest of the day. Perhaps they would lie in the sun. Perhaps they would practice rolling off benches. Perhaps they would... I did think about sacrificing an animal to the child so the rest of us can be saved, Liony continued, interrupting Lynn's daydream. Nobody likes the capybara. Wait, what? Lynn